you have high performers in your construction company, but are making everybody, possibly yourself, miserable, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Jerry Aliberti, owner of Pro-Accel. I can tell you firsthand, working in the New York City construction market for over 20 plus years before I broke away to start my consulting firm, I've dealt with some very, very difficult personalities, both on the management side and both with New York City unions. These were very, very high performers. I mean, they were really smart people. They were great planners, but they were miserable human beings, and they made everybody around them miserable. The people around them will eventually complain to the owner and the executives, and guess what they would do? They would close one eye, close one ear, and say, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, deal with it. Why? Because they were making the money. But guess what happens when you do that? Although that one or two or three people are great high performers, the 10 or 15 people that are all miserable aren't performing at their max. So you may see the tangible results, the financial results of a specific project because of them, but you're not seeing all the lower performance work that's happening with everybody else who's working with them. So if you're making $2 million profit a year, chances are you could probably be making $3 million profit if everybody was performing at their max. And this is what contractors don't understand. On top of that, how's your turnover look? I bet your turnover is probably a lot higher than the average company because of these miserable human beings. And that turnover is costing you a lot of money as well. But again, you're not really seeing that on paper as you are on a profit loss statement. So it's a lot more difficult for a project executive or an owner to really understand the total impact of this. So really, it's quite simple how to approach this situation. You got to pull that individual to the side. You got to let them know that you respect their competence in the business. Rub their back a little bit and let them understand that they are great at what they do, but let them understand that you're not going to tolerate the way they speak to other people. Nobody should be cursing and screaming at people every single day. You also need to dig a little bit deeper. Are they always like this? Or is it more of a newer trend? If it's a newer trend, maybe they're having problems at home. Maybe they want you to ask about it. Maybe they need that support. Maybe they need that friendship. If it's something that's been going on for a long time and they really are high performers, maybe you can bring on a performance coach, a business coach, or consultant, whatever it may be, to help these individuals navigate what's causing them to be so strict, to be so miserable, right? I keep using that same word. I find that they are like this because, one, they kind of chose a career that is extremely highly stressful. They have a lot of regrets, but they feel trapped because of their financial obligations they have at home. They have kids in college. They're so far into their career, they don't want to do a career change, and they know deep down inside they really want it. Perhaps they're an older generation person who is having a hard time dealing with the younger generation. The more tech-savvy generation who wants to utilize technology, who doesn't just want to be out in the field all day long. I mean, listen, if you're a super, you need to be out in the field, right? But maybe they're upset at you, the owner, right, for putting the wrong people in the wrong position. There's so many different ways where something like this can happen. I was recently hired, to be honest with you, where the owner wanted me, an outside person with an unbiased opinion, to interview several of these miserable people, calm them down a little bit and say, hey, I'm here to help you. I'm here to make your life a little bit easier, a lot easier. So there's different ways where you could approach this, but I normally find that these people are like this because, one, they just were never really able to manage their emotions, and now they're in a high stress environment. Their responsibilities have increased, and they're taking out all their frustration on everybody else. Or maybe they're going through a divorce, they're having a hard time with their kids, and they just need like an extra level, maybe a little space. Maybe you can offer them to maybe take a couple of days off. You could throw them a couple bucks to go take a vacation with their wife. I mean, if they're high performers, a couple $1,000 to help them calm down a little bit is not that big of a deal. You know, if you're a multi-million-dollar company doing $50, $100 million a year, it's worth investing in these individuals because eventually they may leave too. I've heard of many of these types of individuals having heart attacks. It's sad, but it's true. Construction is an extremely stressful industry, but it also brings a tremendous amount of satisfaction as well because we're building things, we're building communities. So how do we support those people that are over the top stressful? I remember I was extremely stressful when I was just starting out my business. When I was just starting to run projects out in the field. And I had my awakening during Christmas dinner. I wasn't sleeping well. I was taking I was taking that frustration home with me, which was not well. It was dampening my own personal marriage as well. It wasn't keeping me present with my kids. So finally, one Christmas dinner, everybody's laughing and smiling around me, and I was just miserable. And I said, you know what? This is it. I'm done with this. I need to change the way I view my job. I had that awakening on my own, but sometimes people need a little bit of more support and within the organization to have that awakening. So to wrap up this video, if you're the owner, you're an executive, you have some really high performers who are making everybody miserable, approach them, call them into your office, let them know that you respect the output that they're giving you. Let them know that you are also worried about how they treat other people as well, and try to get to the bottom of it. Is it something that maybe they're just struggling with emotions their entire life and they're having trouble with the stress? Maybe they're having problems at home. Offer that additional support and additional help. But here's another key thing. If they're saying they don't need anything and they're in complete denial, then at that point, maybe you make several more attempts. But at that point, we all know what needs to happen. Because I can guarantee you this. If, let's say, for the sake of this video, you're making $3 million of profit a year, but 15 other people are miserable because of that one person, you're probably losing out on a lot of money. And on top of that, you're having a hard time keeping your entire staff engaged because of this one person. So if you like this video, I hope you can subscribe. I would love to hear your comments, and please like. Thanks.